Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in today. I wanted to take a quick second to chat about one of my favorite hikes for this time of year. I have a lot of friends that when I post like photos of some of the hikes that I go on this time of year, they want to know what the easiest one is for somebody that's kind of beginner to intermediate level that just may not know the landscape around here in kind of the greater Washington, Seattle area. So I wanted to share this one because I find that it's one of the easiest to access. It is fairly, I wouldn't say super challenging, but it's definitely has some challenges in the sense of if you're not used to doing kind of like snowshoeing or something like that, then it might be something that's new and different for you. So crampons are obviously like super recommended for this particular one, but it also has an incredible payoff at the very end. So the hike is Franklin Falls. It's about a 45-ish minute drive from Seattle in Snoqualmie Pass, which is really just kind of like 45 minutes east of Seattle. It's right before one of the main hiking and skiing areas that everybody goes to. And one of the unique things about this particular hike is it actually is kind of built in between two of the highways that are crossing each way in the pass. So it's a super fun hike. It's pretty easy to get to. A couple things that you definitely need to make sure that you're bringing in order to make sure you have a good time on this hike, because it is popular, and when I go out, I almost inevitably always see somebody that is clearly not prepared and is clearly struggling on this hike. It's very doable if you bring the right things. If you don't bring the right things, you can absolutely still do it. But in the words of South Park, you are gonna have a bad time. So for this one, you definitely want to make sure that first and foremost, you get the Snow Park Pass. It's about $25. You can buy it online. There's actually a link at the actual park. So when you're parking next to the highway, next to the entrance, you can actually, there's a QR code that you can use to actually end up buying it. And then you just write down the code on the receipt code that you get back after you purchased it. And you can put that like on a piece of paper in your car window. The other thing that you're going to want to make sure that you bring, obviously comfortable hiking boots and snow comfortable wear. So like if you have waterproof pants with like some kind of, fuzzy lining or something like that to help with that, that's really important. Then a comfortable jacket with a mid layer and then like a beanie or a hat, because it doesn't get freezing, but it can get down to literally freezing, which is 32 degrees and below Fahrenheit, but it's usually not like something crazy. It's usually not like 10 degrees or something like that, but it can still get really cold. So make sure you dress comfortably, and then to make sure that you have a really good time, because most of the hike you don't necessarily need it, but at the very end of the hike, when you're going to actual Franklin Falls and you're walking down the main staircase, you want to make sure that you have either crampons for your boots, or you want to have hiking sticks or hiking poles. It gets a little treacherous there because the snow starts to melt a lot quicker, because the water from the waterfall actually starts to make it a little icier and starts to kind of get it to go away. So it's a little more treacherous as you're actually going down. So you at least want those items to make sure that when you're going down safely and comfortably and you're not too worried about it. But outside of that, it's an incredible hike. It's very well maintained. It's easy to reach. The payoff is incredible. And I highly recommend it to most folks that are looking for that beginner to intermediate snow hike to go on to. It's usually during the summer when there's no snow, about 2-ish miles. So very, very friendly, very, very easy to get to. But during the winter, the road leading up to the trailhead is actually snowed out. So you're going to add another 2.5-ish miles each way on that one. So all said and done, by the time you're coming back, you're usually looking at somewhere between a 6 to 7.5 mile hike through the snow and everything like that. So it definitely can be a little more challenging if you're not used to that, but I also see families with kids and everything doing it all the time. So it's absolutely doable. Just make sure you're prepared, make sure you've paid for the proper park pass, and other than that, just hike safely. Thank you all so much for watching, and happy hiking.
Winter, and I was like, okay, now my toes are freezing.
Real quick, thoughts on the hikes, final rating.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
Wow. Honestly, I thought it was going to be too short, but with the walk and the full valley.
Well, with the video, with the
I
camera.
know, right?
this adds the, like, you know, it's not about the hike, right? So we're not
No. You gotta do it for the gram.
Yeah. Plus we
Although-
don't have Instagram.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Who am I gonna tag?
hiking
You
up
got
all the
Taylor.
way-
I got Taylor, right?
all the way up to see a waterfall is pretty rare. on a
Yeah.
hike.